Everybody, today is Friday the 16th of October 1652. I just want to, because I find it so dumbstruckingly in everyone's face, I just want to show you something. Now, as you most probably know, yesterday I sent an email very early yesterday. It was actually the night from the day before yesterday to yesterday. It was almost 1 in the morning, with three little things. First of all, the European Confederation data have changed a little because for whatever reason, when I calculated the populace of New Germany, I forgot, so to speak, the county of Berlin, and as they have some 3-point-something million people, that did make a bit of a difference, just a little bit of a difference. It did not change the number of votes they have. Anyhow, the second thing is, I restructured the Volkswagen AG because simply it was necessary, and I attached, and the third thing had something to do with cigarettes in Freiland, which probably is not so important to people. I had attached the how to restructure the Volkswagen AG. It said exactly what new companies to build and so on, and who would own what thereupon, and blah blah blah. So, and yesterday, or the day from before yesterday to the night rather, from the day before yesterday to yesterday, I had to do me some research on how exactly which company in that huge mammoth Volkswagen AG owned how much of what, and what Niedersachsen had to do with it, and what Qatar had to do with it, and so on. And part of my research, I want to show you this, was this little graphical thing here. What you see on the screen here. Now, at first, because, I should point out, due to the laws, let's put it that way, trading laws more than anything else, in the European Confederation, a couple of things had to be taken care of, and it made everything easier to split up the Volkswagen AG into bits and pieces that basically are in Altland, in Rheinland, and in Norddeutschland, and some periphery things. And that is why originally, so to speak, I really zoomed in on this here, and this is just, you actually do research to get the true data behind what is displayed here, but even this in itself, I originally had zoomed in, so to speak, to just see, and also heeding the seed of each of these companies, how exactly I would best split them up. And it wasn't until hours into it that I took a little break and actually leaned back and lit me a cigarette, and just without much in my mind just looked at this whole thing you see here, and I noted that what you have here is a trophy room, as in some salon where you have the dead tiger skin on the floor and the elk stuffed head on the wall. This is what Faex Mundi have succeeded to kill. Everything you see here. This all, as it is presented here, and this is before I restructured it, mind you, this all is perfect, destructive, applied Faex Mundi idiocy to destroy all things that these represent. Now, mind you, that within these here and there, some might actually be Faex Mundi. That's another story, because there are a lot of interest groups in Faex Mundi, but there's the big overlord fuckers who fuck them all. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a perfect, actually grotesquely funny trophy room. That's what it is. Now, but that was yesterday's news, because as I said, I'm done with VW restructuring. So today, I figured, okay, what else needs to be done? And as I am also, you may not know this, but I'm also responsible for sports in Freiland, as the sports minister of such, although there is no official title like that. And I want to To give you a specific reason, Skoda has actually been declared to be now in Freiland possession. So basically, call it restitution, because that's basically what it is. So I took Skoda out, and see, in my role as sport minister, in my role as prime minister, I have to make sure that Freiland also has a healthy automobile industry. And the funny thing is, independent thereof, or semi-independent thereof, I was trying to put together a sports car racing series, a national, mind you, sports car racing series, where from each region you'd have a particular team with regional drivers and regional sponsors. So this here would be Region South, these red sponsors here, for instance. These green sponsors would be Region Southwest, and so on, and you'd have the local drivers everywhere, and blah blah blah. It doesn't really matter. The point is that basically this is supposed to be a GT series, and the problem is there are very few models produced at the moment that are suitable for a true GT series needs. And that led me to think about, well, let's just produce them ourselves. And that actually a few days ago led me to restructure the Volkswagen concern. But continuing with that, I also needed sponsors for each of these teams. And as all of the Vorgängerstaaten of Freiland have their own, even though they're somehow interwoven to some extent, have their own energy and oil and petrol companies. You know, in Austria you would have OMV, for instance, which, by the way, just got their logo redesigned to FMV, but that'll be the next document. I'll be sitting on this one for a few days, I'm afraid. But as I needed a local sponsor, because basically the gas stations in the different regions will, for the most part, keep their old traditional branding, if you will, even though it now all belongs together. And nonetheless, I had to do me some research into who owns what. And this is what brings me to the topic today. So let's forget about Volkswagen, because we've done that. And let's go to a peculiar little thing, namely this here. There is a wee little, this is nothing worth mentioning really. IES belongs to MOL Group, which is a former Hungarian energy company. And you know, I was researching all of this when I stumbled across this website, because IES does not have much of a Wikipedia entry, so I had to do me some research on IES and what exactly they do. And in doing that, I stumbled across this thing here. It says here, Flow International, working with great people on great projects. And here's some references. And once more, if you just look at these companies, this one, for instance, I mean, not just this one, all of them, but this one, for instance, that, of course, and that naturally would be in there. All of these companies have been getting services from Flow International. What is Flow International? Flow International is some seminar giving work group for top managers. So all of these companies had their top managing brass, and maybe even under the top to a certain extent, a rank or two beneath there, but then far up the hierarchy people attend workshops there. Flow International. Now, the interesting thing about Flow International is if if you go to the, where did I have this already? Ah, here we are, I think. Yes, international network. So this is how Flow International themselves are connected to other such seminar giving companies. And I should point out their approach, right? I'm going to read that because it's so funny. Our mission We support our partners in successfully implementing development ideas. We are designing complex development projects and delivering them in a high-quality, professional way. Ultimately, we help organizations, teams, and individuals to reach and work at their full potential. Our relationships. We believe and invest in lasting, meaningful, and close relationships that ensure productive and efficient cooperation and mutual learning. We plan, monitor, and measure results in a transparent way that is developed, agreed, and evaluated together with our partners at each milestone of our joint efforts and interventions. And the rest is skippable, but here back to the international network. Now, there is cloned such indoctrination for the management brass seminar agencies all throughout the world. And the interesting thing is they always tell you where they are, right? Ian McLean in Ireland, and Sintes Azul in Portugal, and Challenge Learning in Belgium, where the fuck else? And here is something, they don't fucking tell you where they are. Innolect, that's what they call it, it's not a D, that's an O. Innolect, our strategic partner, let me get this right, our strategic partner, Innolect Inc. So as they didn't even give a fucking address of their strategic partner, I took me the liberty to go to the website and have me a bit of a breakdown, because this is such a pathetic website. This is like in-your-face idiocy, and look, and all of this, lurchy-licious, and the interesting thing is, it's a whole lot of blah, in your face, vordergründig, it's a whole lot of blah, and until you go to one of their I think I have it here, yeah, it's why Innolect is somewhere in their sub-menus. I forgot where exactly I was. I was there before.
President of Innolect Inc. We founded Innolect on a passion for growing leaders and building creative, high-integrity workplaces that would better the world. When we did that, we envisioned teams working collaboratively to solve tough problems. We also envisioned leaders gaining in competence and capability, using their strengths to work most effectively. And we envisioned those same leaders reaching out into their communities to build positive legacies that would truly make a difference. As you visit our website, you'll notice that we grow the leader in everyone and work with organizations to build the kind of cultures and organizations that become great places to work.
Did you fucking listen to her? Did you fucking listen to what that woman, who unfortunately due to all of North America gonna get ABC'd into oblivion, will not wind up in the hands of Freiland to be fucking skinned alive? This is Faex Mundi doing. And she fucking smiles over it. And she fucking tells you what they're doing. So, turns out that this company happens to be, and again, here we are, Fort Mill, South Carolina. So I figured, what's at Fort Mill, South Carolina? And if you go to Fort Mill, South Carolina, it's not really much of the center of the world, or maybe not my world anyhow, but it turns out that one of the companies residing there is Muzak Holdings. Muzak Holdings, Muzak is a brand of background music delivered to retail stores and other establishments. The former company that marketed the brand was Muzak Holdings, which itself was often simply referred to as Muzak. Mood Media purchased Muzak Holdings for US dollars 345 million into blah. And there you can read the pathetic history of them. A growing awareness among the public that music was targeted to manipulate behavior resulted in a backlash, including accusations being a brainwashing technique and court challenges in the 1950s. However, the popularity of music remained high through the mid-1960s. President Dwight D. Eisenhower was the first president to pump music into the West Wing. President Dwight D. Eisenhower, in office till January 1961. Now, I have said written in my documents countless times before that it was the late 50s, and from then it got out, and he was the first. So we can, again, once more for the 38th time, precisely tell when this shit started to go out and be utilized at the highest possible level. And just if you can't do math enough, he left office 55 years ago. That's when he left office. And ever since then, they have been fucking minds of leaders everywhere. And not just of leaders, because these leaders... I wanna reload that. Listen to that bitch again. Listen to what she says.
I'm Kitty Watson, president of Innolect Inc. We founded Innolect on a passion for growing leaders and building creative, high-integrity workplaces that would better the world. When we did that, we envisioned teams working collaboratively to solve tough problems. We also envisioned leaders gaining in confidence and capability, using their strengths to work most effectively. And we envisioned those same leaders reaching out into their communities to build positive legacies that would truly make a difference. As you visit our website, you'll notice that we grow the leader in everyone and work with organizations to build the kind of cultures and organizations that become great places to work.
There, she still smiles. Not for long she does, but for the moment she still smiles. Now, I would like to draw your attention to the fucking thing around the neck, and whatever the fuck funny scepter or shit that thing is supposed to be. And no, this is not a gardening tool. I do know a thing or two hobbyist-wise about gardening tools. I've never seen something the fuck like this. Okay? Would you please nuke all of North America, and would you please nuke England, traitor that it is, and thereupon kneel the fuck before Freiland liberating mankind? Thank you.